Welcome back to this special edition of Hannity. If you think liberal hate speech is bad on television, you won't believe the disgusting rhetoric that left-wing radio talkers are spewing every day on the airwaves. Joining me now to go through some of the most outrageous examples, the radio equalizer, Brian Maloney. How are you, Brian?
Great, David. Thanks a lot for having me on.
All right, so let's fire up the first one. This is Ed Schultz, who blames the Detroit bankruptcy on Republican promises and lies. Let's hear it.
Republican promises and lies were at the core of the destruction of Detroit. I mean, you have to admit that outsourcing and laying money offshore and not paying taxes, that's a Republican thing.
So no Republican governance at all in that city since 1961. One Republican councilman, same congressman, John Dingell, for 57 years since he was 29. Tax and spend policies, city pensions, benefits handed out, the largest chunk, and it's all the Republicans. Really?
That's an old progressive trick, which is essentially to blame the federal government or Reagan or some long-lost Republican administration for what's happening locally, as though local leaders have no responsibility. They've done that in other places, not just Detroit, but, talk to people in Oakland. Do they blame who they've elected in Oakland? No. They blame someone else, somewhere else. Republicans are an easy target.
All right, let's go because, and I've jokingly said it, Liz Cheney, the daughter of Vice President Cheney, she's now getting attacked. And this is also one of the other haters out there, Mike Malloy.
The vampire's daughter has decided to run for office. She's a vampire, too, of course. I'm talking about Liz Cheney. God, that woman is scary, isn't she? You think Dick Cheney got excited from acts of mass murder? Wait till Liz Cheney has a chance to exercise the same prerogatives. Thumbs up, thumbs down, let them eat cake.
All right, let's face it. Is this guy even in reality? I mean, more people have just heard what he said than listened to him. But it's the hate that we have to highlight.
Well, that's it. And, this in particular, they have a real obsession with the Cheneys. And, so much for progressive tolerance and diversity because
they're not very
what
tolerant,
are they? Yeah. It's selective. She's a Republican, so then none of those labels apply. Suddenly, she's got to be evil.
Well, I'll even go further. It's because you don't agree with them because they'll eat their own when necessary. Seems to be the progressive thing. Here's, Mike Malloy again, because, you know what? I just have to play this because I have a point to make on this one.
If you spend much time
I don't know what to say about Obama and his little love affair with the Bush family. I think it's a fact that Barbara Bush does not like Negroes.
Really? Here's the sad part. I was part of the literacy program when Barbara Bush and Rudy Tomjanovich, then the Houston Rockets coach, his wife Sophie, were part of this whole, and I was a spokesman who was out there for them. So apparently the Barbara Bush folks and Barbara Bush had no problem with this Negro.
Well, and if a conservative were to even use that word on the air, but for some reason he has a pass because he's progressive, So progressive means they can get away with whatever they want to say.
I think progressive means they're regressive in their thought, and maybe they just need to get out of their own heads. All right, let's go to Mike Papantonio, filling in for Ed Schultz. More hate.
If you spend much time in the Webb blog world, you probably have noticed, certainly over the last year and a half, the hate hags have become more creepier than usual. I mean, they're already creepy, but now they've moved the dial on creepy. Michelle Malkin has stepped up her putrid hate language against immigrants, suggesting that they need to be punished, that militia border patrols should keep immigrant vermin, as she puts it, out of her country. She has that special kind of personality that people love to hate. So why would the little malignant Malkin be so willing to keep turning up her immigrant hate message along with the dozens of other hate lines that she uses every day? Well, it's the same story. It's the Rush Limbaugh story. It's simple. Even the lunatic cable TV and right-wing crazy radio networks They only have so much time that they can devote to female hate freaks or any kind of hate freaks, like Malkin or her gutter mouth sister Ann Coulter. There's a limited amount of real freakish hate time available. That's the case with all the hate talkers, whether you're talking about Rush, whether you're talking about Hannity, whether you're talking about Savage.
And there you have it, more hate. He spent more time spewing hate than actually proving it. And here's the thing. Yeah. They do it in the headlines or the open for the segment, never supported in the story.
Right.
We're not going to get rid of these guys, are we?
Yeah, I mean, the real war on women's coming from the left. Obviously, when they want to attack a woman, it's okay for them to do so because what? Because she's conservative. So this war on women and tarring the right with this, when clearly, I mean, they could say whatever nasty thing they want. They don't really believe what they stand for, do they?
Well, even if they believe it, here's my take. Can they prove it? They can never prove anything, Brian, and this is the problem. Yeah. It's regressive. It's not progressive. Frankly, progressive's not a bad word, is it? It's progress. These guys, these men and women, they're the opposite. They're regressives, and that's what it comes down to. Finish up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, how do you prove, though, hate hags? I mean, that's just, you're just sliming people. And the fact is, Papantonio, even if you've never heard of the guy, he's on MSNBC. He's associated with all these left-wing figures. He's a major trial lawyer in Florida.
This guy but he's a minor radio player, and he's a major player in the hate world. So we'll take it for what it is. It's about hate, not about facts.